Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin'. Sid here from 3 Mississippi. Well, you just can't make this stuff up. I mean, if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. Wouldn't have believed it. If you guys have been watching 3 Mississippi for a while and been hanging with us for a while, y'all know my fascination with birds, number one. I'm obsessed with birds. I love birds. My spirit animal is a flamingo. I would own flamingos right now, this minute, if Mike wouldn't just pack up and leave. Uh, I love birds. I love all kinds of birds. I am obsessed. I'm also fascinated with the fact that the birds' reproductive systems fascinate me. Okay, some of you may have heard me talk about this before to some degree or another, but birds have a one all-purpose hole called a cloaca. Okay, this is where they have their excrement, and this is where they lay their eggs from, and this is also where they have the sexy time from. Okay, now 3% of the bird population has a male appendage. Most birds don't. Most birds have, the boys will have basically testes up inside that squirt out the good stuff into the girl's cloaca, and the girls can hold it. The girls can hold. Most female birds can hold, like a chicken can hold that sperm up there and fertilize her eggs with it for like 3 weeks. That's why when you want to have certain breeds, you have to really separate them for like a month to make sure that it's out of their system and you've got the breed you want and all that, right? Turkeys are the same way, right? A lot of breeds are like that. Or species, I should say, are like that. So ducks, however, are one of those, my Muscovies being an example, are one of those that have the male appendage. And it looks like a corkscrew, like it looks like if you were to take, if you've ever gutted a chicken, it looks like the intestine of a chicken, but in a corkscrew pasta, okay? And it kind of, they sling it out like a slingshot, like Spider-Man, like, whoosh, and it just right into the vent of the female, right? Right into the hen. And she can either choose to accept it or reject it, depending on what her options are. If she doesn't like that drake, maybe she likes a different drake, she can choose to like clamp off her girly parts and like reject him, right? It's a whole thing. Okay. So this morning, I happened to catch my drake having the sexy time with one of my hens, and I was like, cool. There's been contact, like he's about to have contact. It takes him a little while longer. Than it's not just like a regular rooster because there's actual contact. So like I was waiting around, like I know it was like I know it's I love to stand around and watch my birds, but this is one of the things I live for. And Mike thinks I'm insane, but I love it. But it shows me like, okay, they've actually consummated the relationship. We have contact. I know that those eggs are going to be fertilized. I can either start collecting them, or I can, let them sit on the nest. I don't have to like try to break a few and see if they've been fertilized and like do that whole process, right? So, uh, as he's like, my drake, my one drake is with his girl, trying to get his aim right. It takes a minute. He's like on her. He's trying to get the aim right. It's like a whole thing because he can't see back there, you know. And so, and he's new. He's young. He doesn't know the whole drill yet. As he's like doing all this, Roderick, my Roman tufted, who has taken it upon himself this breeding season to become the NATO of the barnyard. He will break up any skirmish. He is the policeman of the yard. He is involved in everybody's business. He is the HOA. He is the Karen of the neighborhood. He is in everybody's business, okay? He decides that he's going to trot his happy little booty down there and assist in the entire duck evolution that is happening. And so he decides to get on top of the poor drake, and he's like, how the drakes will grab the back of the hen's head during sexy time? And well, he's doing that. And so, but I'm over here on this side of the electric fence, and the electric fence is on, and to turn off the electric fence is way up here. So I can't do anything to stop him from bugging the drake. And it's going on for a long time. And I can see that the drake is having trouble to perform because Roderick is interfering with the whole situation. So I realized that I need to, abort what I'm doing with the chickens, and I need to do the long walk of shame to come help this poor drake to get Roderick out of this very awkward threesome that he did not need to be in. And so I had to go get him physically off the drake, and then instantly, right away, the drake was able to perform, and it was fabulous. I don't know, actually, I didn't ask the hen how fabulous she found it. She seemed to enjoy herself. She did the little ruffle dance afterwards. She went and did her little post-coital bath like they like to do. I mean, seemed like she was having a good time. So overall, it was a win. But I was like, sir, Roderick, you're doing too much, sir. You're doing too much. You do not need to police everything. Like, this breeding season has just gotten, it's a lot. Like, he has decided that he is in charge of everybody's business. Like, he's not only protecting his geese, but he's protecting the ducks, he's protecting the chickens, which is great. It's great. Like, he's really good about like keeping them safe from predators and stuff. Like, he keeps an eye for like, he's amazing. 100%, 10 out of 10 recommend. However, this is his first breeding season, really being a big boy, and he has taken his role very seriously, I feel like. So he's just a little too, involved in everybody's business. He needs to just back it down a hair. I have not seen him have romantic uh, interludes with either Evelyn or Millie. However, it doesn't mean that it hasn't happened, because a lot of times the geese will kind of do it in the evening time when I'm maybe not out here. So it's possible that they're having, sneaky interludes. But the ducks have just gotten so tired of his shiitake that they've been hanging out down here a lot more because they just got tired of it. But you can see, I don't know if you guys can see Millie. She's standing in that little half coop right there. She has started her nest there, and she's so half-hearted about her nest, but so dedicated at the same time. She's literally will just throw hay randomly all over, which is what she's doing right now. Not really on the nest, sort of just on her back. Not really, she's not fully invested. She's funny, bless her. But she's a good girl. She's adorable. So we'll see. I don't know what's going to hatch out this season, if anything. And I haven't had any of my Muscovies start sitting yet. They do have the beginnings of a clutch that they've started laying, and I haven't been able to tell which duck is actually laying that clutch yet. And I think a few of them are not really laying yet. So, and some of them are just laying in the coop. So I'm going to kind of stop collecting the duck eggs for just a couple days, just to kind of see where they're laying. And then see if they decide like, okay, we're all going to lay here, or this one's laying a clutch here and this one's laying a clutch here. Cause I do want them to hatch out some, if they'll sit and do a clutch, that would be amazing. One less thing I have to worry about. Then I don't have to worry about brooding them, because when they raise them themselves, I don't have to get involved. And the less I have to be involved, the better. Because I really don't like incubating eggs. I really don't. It's very stressful. I don't enjoy it. There's just so many little things that you have to babysit on it all the time, with the humidity and the temperature, and something always goes wrong. And it just, I don't know. It just stresses me out horribly. And I do like my new incubator that I got this year, this last year. Of all the incubators I've used over the years, it so far is my favorite. But I still just get very stressed out incubating eggs. So I'd much rather have the ducks do their own, although ducks are pretty easy to hatch out, I will say. And quail are super easy, just because they're so fast. they're hatching before you even get the incubator lid closed. Because they incubate so quickly. But that was my morning, guys. That was my morning. That's just a little snippet of the kind of stuff that if you don't have birds or you don't have a farm out your back door, you're missing out. because you don't get to see that kind of stuff. And if you don't get to wake up in the morning and see a duck's male appendage, then what are you doing with your life? Is my question. What are you doing with your life? Because you're living an unfulfilled life, in my opinion. I'm just saying. So anyway, I got to get back into the bat cave and get to work, and then I got to make everybody dinner because I'm making some fried rice tonight because I made stew last week and I made way too much rice because I made some for our neighbors too, and I apparently can't count when I'm making it for 2 households, and I made like enough rice to feed 47 people. Anyway, so I have a boatload of rice left. So what are you gonna do? You make fried rice. Also, I have a boatload of eggs, which I am going to be water glassing. I ordered some jars for that. I needed some of the bigger ones, and we have some that we use for fermenting, but I wanted the wider mouth ones so it was easier to get the eggs out of and put them in. So I did order, and I found a good sale on them. I think a decent sale on them for a 4-pack. So anyway, so I got those coming. So that's exciting. And I did today, because it is March, and I know that I do get some early flyers for my hummingbirds. I did set up my hummingbird feeders. But I got one that's leaking a little bit. And Mike bought me for Christmas a couple new stands for my hummingbird feeders that can go further out in the yard, so that I can see them from the bay window in the house, because that was one of my things, was like, oh, I'd like to be able to sit in the house and be able to see them too. But now I need more hummingbird feeders. So I'm gonna have to order another hummingbird feeder so I can still have one on the porch so they can come and sit with me, because they love that, because who wouldn't? And we have long conversations about duck penises, and it's a fabulous time. So anyway, guys, hope you're having a blessed day. I hope your day is full of duck penises, and stay blessed, and safety's off.